with school getting back in, I don't know about you, but I'm certainly thinking a lot about what I ought to be spending my time on, because time has gone from I have all the time in the world to there is no time. And so going from summer to back to school always makes me reflect on, you know, what should I be spending my time on in my business, and how much time should I be spending, and all of those things, and just kind of trying to create the good balance of all the stuff. And in that, one thing I've been thinking about a lot is having big product lines, big units, big things, versus having smaller products. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about like why you might want to have one versus the other, and also how they can be helpful and what you ought to be doing. So I don't know about you, but when I first got started on TPT, I definitely was starting with like smaller products. You know, here's a product, there's a product, there's a product, you know, $3 here, $3 here, $2 here. Maybe you even have a $1 product every once in a while. And as I, you know, progressed, I still have some of those smaller products, but I definitely started gearing towards more product lines, which is always what I suggest to you. And in those, I have product lines and I have units and those kind of things. And y'all, they take so much more time than the random little one-off things. But the other thing about them is that even though they take more time, they typically earn you way more money than the little products. So let's talk about that. When you have little products, little like one-off things, I'm thinking like $3 or less, it can be really easy to be like, oh, I'm just gonna throw this thing together and, you know, charge $1 or $2 or things like that. But the reality is that even with the small products, you still have to create them, first of all. And then on top of that, you still have to like post them and create thumbnails and covers and previews and all those kind of things. And then you're not making very much money. I remember my first product that sold was listed for $2. And if your products are less than $3 and you're a basic seller, as I was because I was broke, TPT makes more money off of that product than you do. So I sold my first $2 resource, and let's see, it made, I want to say 40 cents. Do we think this is correct? Times. And I made like less than $1. And I immediately went and changed the price. But when you have those like really inexpensive products, you don't make a lot of money off of them, and you still have to do the work. It can be a lot. On the other hand, if you're making bigger products, so think like a unit or like a bigger lesson or a product line, those things take a lot more of a time investment, but they also make you way more money because you can price them higher, which means that you get a lot more money out of that. It also means that, you know, that whole like transaction fee, if your products are priced higher than $3, you're not paying that transaction fee on all the $1 and $2 little sales that you make. If you have bigger products, then people are also, and if you have like product lines, people are more inclined to purchase more than one. You know, if someone's gonna buy one of your Go Fish games, they're probably gonna be able or want to buy 2 or 3 or 4 of your Go Fish games, or all your Go Fish games. This is an interesting thing because I teach music, and so in music there's a lot of different levels that people teach. So think about like rhythms, if you know anything about music. We start with rhythms with quarter notes and eighth notes, then we add rests, then we add half notes, and then we add 16th notes, and from there you have dotted half notes, and you have syncopated rhythms, and you have dotted quarter note, eighth notes, and you have like, there's so many different things. And some people teach, you know, 15 different versions, actually we'll say 10. Some people teach 10 different rhythms throughout elementary school, which means that if I have a Go Fish game and they're teaching all 10 rhythms, they can buy the Go Fish game for all 10 rhythms, okay? Now, some people don't teach all 10 rhythms. I don't teach all 10 rhythms, but you can use, you know, the first 4 of the products. okay? So when you have product lines, there's just more that people can purchase. So instead of buying one Go Fish game, we can buy 4 Go Fish games or all 10 Go Fish games. And that's a lot more money in your pocket, and it's also a lot more useful to the teachers. And when they're thinking about, you know, stores that they like, they're gonna be much more inclined to think about your store fondly than if you gave them like a $1 little like worksheet or coloring sheet or something like that, okay? Okay. Having those bigger products allows people to purchase more and allows people to, you know, get more use out of them. So I would encourage you to spend most of your time working on bigger products and working on units, working on product lines so that you can make more money, so that your store is more cohesive because you have these like bigger products and you have more things that kind of go together and things like that. However, it can be really exhausting. However, there are some downsides to those big products. One, they take a long time, and so it's harder to fill your store up with products. So if you're looking to, you know, get a good amount of products, if you want to hit 25 or 50 products, it's going to take a really long time if everything is like gigantic study guides and huge units and things like that. Also, it just takes a long time to get things up. So if someone, you know, already purchased 2 of the things in your store, but you don't have a 3rd up, then they can't purchase something new until you get it available. These things can also, I don't know about you, but they can really wear really disgusting. I don't know about you, but having ginormous projects, it kind of starts fun and then it gets not fun. And it can be really overwhelming and it can be really exhausting. And sometimes it leads to me being like, I don't want to work on my products today. Even though big products are what you should spend most of your time on and are really great, I personally still see value in smaller products. So like $5 and less. My kind of sweet spot is in between $3 and $5. I do have a few things that are cheaper than that. Typically, if my things are cheaper than that, I intend for them to be purchased as a bundle. I don't intend for many of my products to be purchased individually. And so, you know, if I have a $1 product, but there's, you know, 10 of them, or it goes with this other bundle over here, I'm intending for them to be purchased more than one at a time. So my kind of sweet spot is in between $3 and $5. And so a lot of my products are between $3 and $5 and then they get bundled. Or sometimes it is just a one-off that's in between $3 to $5. And having those smaller products can be so good for your morale, first of all, because again, it can be really exhausting working on the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over. If you've been following, then you'll know that I made like all the rooms. I made 10 sets of rhythms. Actually, it's technically 11, but one set, you get 2 sets in one, just because of the rhythms there. And then 5 sets of melody ones. And I did them for every season over the past year. We did spring and then summer and then back to school and fall and Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas and winter and Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, 10, Lunar New Year. That might be all. Yeah, like 11 sets of them. So many sets of them. And it gets really boring after a while to make the same thing over and over and over and over again in all the different seasons and all that kind of stuff. So having like a little one-off product can be really good for your morale, to be like, oh, I'm gonna spend a couple hours working on this and then it's done. And I don't have to keep doing it and we can be done with it. For morale's sake, I do like having smaller products every once in a while. Smaller products are also really good for seasonal products, because when you have a seasonal product, you know, someone might want to add one little thing for Veterans Day, or one little thing for St. Patrick's Day, or for, you know, Hanukkah, or for whatever. They might want to add one little seasonal thing, but they're not doing like a whole huge seasonal thing, unless they're me, because I'm a crazy person. But most people, you know, one little thing here or there is enough to kind of like add a little bit of fun to their lessons. So having those little one-off things are really great for seasonal products because they don't take a lot of your time, which is great for seasonal products since they don't sell all year, and it can really help people to just, you know, have a little one-off thing. The other thing is there are different kinds of buyers on TPT. There are some buyers who aren't really buyers, they're downloaders, and they only get free things. That's the kind of buyer I am. Or it was the kind of buyer I was before I discovered clip art, because I do spend some money in clip art. But I did not ever buy products on TPT because I'm like, my mindset is, why would I pay $3 if I can go make it myself? Which was really hard for me to get over the fact that like other people aren't like that. And I talked to my mom about this a lot because she is starting an Etsy shop where she's selling like patterns for sewing stuff, as well as some like finished sewing things. So she has like some quilt patterns and like a doll pattern and like just an apron pattern that's really cool actually. I'll link it down below. She has all these cool things, but she is like me, or I'm like her, in that she doesn't buy a lot of patterns because she just makes them herself. And so, you know, why would you spend money on pattern if you could just make it yourself? And I am the same way, but I'm further along in my business journey. So we've had many discussions about your ideal customer is not you. I'll go and download things for free, but I'm not gonna buy anything. Other people are perfectly willing to go and buy. I remember this one time, it was the first week of school. It wasn't even school, it was pre-planning. And my principal said, we're gonna use interactive notebooks. Okay, and then she like talked about interactive notebooks, and then she gave the grade levels like time to disperse and talk, and she stuck me with 4th grade. Because they always look around and are like, oh, the special teachers aren't doing anything, go talk to them. And I'm like, why? But so I went over and talked to 4th grade, and they're all talking about like, oh, what are we gonna do for interactive notebooks? Oh my God, I think about all these things. And one of the teachers went on TPT and found interactive notebook bundle for the whole year and went click, buy, done. And I was just like, what? Because I would never do that. But you are not the same as other buyers, first of all. And buyers on TPT are different. So you have some people who are only gonna download free things ever, okay? You have some people who are gonna buy entire year-long bundles, and they are happy to do that because it saves them so much time. And this particular teacher, she has like 2 kids at home, they're really young, and so I can see from my aspect, she likes things organized, she likes things nice, but she doesn't have a ton of time to like devote to that. And so for her, spending that money and having it done is like way better than anything else. And then you also have people in between. So you'll have some people who are perfectly willing to buy something that's $2 or $3, but $6 or $7 is kind of like, I don't know about that. So having a variety of price points in your store is really helpful because you can capture different types of buyers. And especially if you have someone who's new to your store, they may not be willing to go spend, you know, $30 or $40 on a whole year-long unit, but they might be willing to spend $3 while they get to know you. And then once they know you and they see how awesome your resources are, then they might go back and purchase those bigger bundles later. So having a variety of price points means that you can reach a variety of different people, and remember that your ideal customer is not necessarily you. The way that you shop is not the way that they shop, which is good because I'm like the worst shopper ever. So just remember that as you are pricing your products and as you're thinking about what kind of products you want. Have a variety of price points, spend more time on those bigger products, but have a variety so you can reach different people. So you have that like entry level products is what they call it, when you have something that's cheaper so that it can kind of guide people to the more expensive products. Also, if you are looking specifically at product lines, that's kind of like the best of both worlds, because in a product line, you can have smaller products. So I told you most of my products land between $3 and $5. This is why, because a lot of my products will be $3, but there's 10 different sets of them. or $4, but there's 5 different sets of them. So you can purchase all of them, or you can just purchase 1 or 2. And that kind of gives you that flexibility in price points, where you have some people who can buy, you know, just one and spend the $3, or you have someone who might spend $30 and get all of them. And either way is fine. Having those bundles are really helpful for doing that. And also, you know, someone might click on the $3 one and then be like, oh, hey, there's a whole bundle. Let me buy the whole bundle. That happens. So even though, yes, you should spend most of your time on bigger products, product lines, units, that kind of stuff, because they're the most useful, because they are gonna make you the most money, you also want to have a couple of like smaller ticket items to kind of accommodate different buyers, to get people used to your store, and for you, for morale, just have a quick little, you know, one and done, especially in between bigger products. So I kind of like to sandwich mine like a big unit, and then like here's one little random thing, and then a big unit, and here's a little random thing, because it just makes me feel good to like be able to get something up quickly and, you know, have that be done. So I'm curious, what is your like mean or median product price in your store? Do you find that you sell a lot more bundles, or do you find that you sell a lot more smaller products? I definitely find I sell more like smaller products, but the bundles make so much more money that even if you only buy a couple at a time, then they often are the best money makers. So have a variety, have those bundles, because they will change your life. And it is the best feeling when you get a cha-ching and it's like $50 instead of being like $2. So I will say that as well. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know your thoughts down below. And if you have any questions, come follow me on Instagram. It's @becca.e.davis, and we can chit chat over there. And I'll see you next time. Bye.